Test, test. All rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated.
Good evening, friends and family, and welcome to our fine facility that our patrons and voters supported, and we appreciate the continuing support of all of our bond issues. With those things, we can do some of the nicest things that we are able to do with our campus. Have some recognitions that we need to go through this evening. The first group I'd like to recognize is our school board, and I'm just going to ask them to stand real quickly when I call their name. Frank Lawrence, Jill Randell, Ronnie Moore, who couldn't join us this evening, Alan Woody, Connie Barker, and our superintendent, Chad Broughton. I'd like to recognize Rodney's Flowers for the decorations and the arrangements that he provided for us this evening. I'd like to recognize our senior sponsors, Denise Sanders and Joni Harton, who worked tirelessly getting all of this together and putting on a good ceremony for us tonight. I'd like to recognize our professional photographer that we have on hand this evening. Lawrence Anderson will be taking pictures up here so that you won't need to come forward to do that. I'd like to say one thing that I saw on a slide at baccalaureate the other night. I believe it was in Shane's presentation. Congratulations, you just made it through the easiest part of your life. I have some final acknowledgments from the podium this evening. I want to recognize our Marietta academic scholars. So when I call their name, would you please come forward? Logan O'Connor, Marietta academic scholar. Marietta academic scholar, Kylie Hopkins. Marietta academic scholar and co-salutatorian, Giovanni Jaquez. Marietta academic scholar and co-salutatorian, Rebecca Carroll. Marietta academic scholar and class valedictorian, Addison Galloway.
From the time we started school, our parents and teachers always encouraged us to do the best we could. Work hard, they said, and get good grades because when you graduate, it will pay off. We got to middle school and we were told, work hard now and start strong in middle school because it will help prepare you for high school. We got to high school and they said, don't slack off now, keep striving to do your best. Well, here I am. I worked hard, I got good grades, I did well on my ACT, I had good attendance, I applied to college, got accepted, and got a scholarship. And my reward that I had been looking forward to, worked hard for, I get to stand in front of hundreds of people and give a speech. Wow. What kind of reward is that? That, ladies and gentlemen, is no reward. It's a punishment. I've been lied to all these years. Had I known giving a speech was going to be the reward for working hard all these years, I might have taken a different route. Anyone who knows me knows that speaking at all is not my favorite thing, much less speaking in public. So I'll make the best of it and say thank you to all the teachers who helped me get here. Thank you for the hours you all put in to help me and my whole class cross the stage tonight. Thank you to Coach Tinsley for making my senior year of baseball the best year I've had. I really wish you had been there all 4 years. Thank you to Mrs. Harton for your support. Thank you for seeing me as an individual and encouraging me to step out of my comfort zone, for believing in me when I didn't believe in myself. And to my parents, thank you for hauling me to approximately 9 billion games of t-ball, coach pitch, and whatever else Lions Club does in the summertime. And then for attending about 9 billion more games after I started playing in school. Thanks for feeding and clothing me, for all the family vacations, and for always working hard to support me. I may not say it, but I do appreciate it. To my classmates, we are about to head out into the real world. No more walking down the halls of Marietta High School. No more listening to Mr. Davis's lengthy intercom speeches about being mature and congregating in the right places. No more Mrs. Frere checking to make sure we are making senior deadlines. Now it's time to rely on ourselves. We may do well and we may flop, but either way, when we leave the stage, we better be ready for the adventure. Hopefully there will be more success stories than failures. Congratulations, class of 2018.
Although I've only been here for 2 years, I can honestly say that I feel at home. I have made many friends and have been blessed with many opportunities. Most of the friends I have here, I know from sharing classes, standing alongside them on the football field, or even just from sitting in Kim's office to try to stay out of class for as long as possible. Last year as a junior, I remember watching seniors as they stressed over scholarships, concurrent classes, and suffered from senioritis, and I thought they were all crazy. Boy, was I wrong. There are like 1 billion scholarship applications, all of which require essays, and it will not upset me if I ever have to find another creative way to say I agree on a discussion board. And by the way, senioritis is a real thing. I currently have no motivation, and I haven't had any since Christmas. During the span of my life, I've been privileged to have an outstanding support system of family members, friends, and teachers from all 9 of the schools I've attended. They have been a source of encouragement and help to me. First, I've been blessed with a fantastic family. They have provided for me and equipped me with the skills that are necessary for my success. My mom, in particular, is the best. She put the fear of God into me for making 1B, so the fact that I'm staying here today, graduating with honors, is a huge part to her. And speaking of my mom, today is her birthday. So happy birthday, Mom. It looks like you're finally getting rid of me, and that's probably the best gift I could give you. Next, I'd like to thank some teachers who in the 2 years that I've been at Marietta have made quite an impact on me. First, Mrs. Salyer, who has single-handedly kept me buried in chemistry homework, but no doubt prepared me for the rigors of college. Next, Coach O, who has given me unsolicited and horrible advice about my love life, but it came from a good place, so I forgive him. And last, Mrs. Harton, you've been blunt and sometimes brutal in giving me advice about my life, but you've helped me keep my head straight this year, and you helped me get through some pretty tough times. Last, I'd like to thank some of my classmates. Being the new kid isn't easy, but you guys quickly became friends to me, so the new feeling didn't last long. Hannah, Dewey, Sierra, and Gio, getting to know you guys has been so much fun, and Levi, knowing you forever has been a lot of fun too. Many times during the past 2 years, other classes have described us, and lots of those descriptions have been rather unflattering. Some say our class is lazy, others say we're not the smartest. I've even heard us described as boring, although I really don't understand that one. What I am willing to admit to is that as a group, we are procrastinators. For that reason, I like to suggest that Gio should go ahead and start planning our 10-year reunion now. Lazy, dumb, boring, whatever you want to call us, once we leave this auditorium, we are no longer high schoolers. All the high school stuff, good or bad, is behind us. And we may be all of those bad things, but that list leaves out one good thing. We're capable of whatever we set our minds to do. I wish you all the best. Hopefully, I'll see you at the 10-year reunion. That is, if Gio gets it planned on time. One last time, as Mrs. Harton always says, go with God, my children.
In the everyday classroom, having more than 10 absences a year is considered especially heinous. In Marietta Public Schools, the dedicated students who skip class to take part in this vicious felony are members of an elite squad known as the graduating class of 2018. These are their stories. Now, I know that none of you saw me in any real classes this year, so I'm going to start off by introducing myself. My name is Giovanni Hawkes, coming at you from yet another one of Marietta Public Schools microphones one last time. Now, the only reason I'm standing up here tonight is because this is probably the closest thing I'll get to being on stage and giving a Grammy acceptance speech. So I decided to sacrifice 12 minutes every night for my studies. And now I'm here speaking as one of the top scholars in my class. In Grammy speeches, they usually thank the people that helped them get where they are, so I guess I'll do that too. Parents, know that you're the sole reason I'm here, and I'm so grateful. Even though the only times I told you was when I was sneaking back into my bedroom window at 3 a.m. And staff, thank you for continuing to teach me, even when I zoned out to plot ways to sneak in and out of my bedroom in a more stealthy manner. And friends, thank you for being the type of friends who stand outside my house waiting as I snuck out my bedroom at 12 a.m. Just like Charles Dickens and Taylor Swift once said, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times. High school has provided us with some really great times, but also some really crappy ones. We've made memories that'll make us smile when I think about them in 10 years, when I make last-minute preparations for a 10-year reunion. And we've also had some sad times, not unlike this one, when we're all about to leave here and go on our own ways. Now, not all of us are headed towards the same path anymore. The security blanket that we all had of coming back to these hallways next year is gone, which sucks because the teddy bear I sleep with isn't nearly big enough to hide me from the real world. But now would be the worst time possible to avoid the coming of the next chapter in our lives. In this moment, we are on top of the world, about to be unknowingly kicked back down to the bottom. Many of us will start college in the fall. Oh, and yes, I am going to college. Sorry if you lost a bet because of me. The days that we are all guilty of counting down so eagerly have suddenly become the days we are all looking back on right now with so much nostalgia. For so many days and years, we've been living for today. And honestly, today, we may feel a little lost, but we know that means it's time to set another goal, or 10. Classmates, you've achieved this goal with me, but the diploma is just the beginning. It's time to set more goals, figure out what you want to do, and blaze your own path. And remember to never follow somebody else's path. Unless you're lost in the woods and you see a path, then you should follow that path. So, as we walk out of here and forget about each other until we walk into the same aisle at the grocery store from opposite ends, I leave here with my personal and infamous words of wisdom. Hey, y'all chill out. Thank you.
Graduation, the event of the year, second only to prom. It's definitely the easier thing to get ready for because it's okay for us to have matching gowns. They're cheaper too. Tonight, we're here to celebrate the end of our high school careers and, of course, to thank those that helped us get here. First, I would like to thank God for helping me make it this far. I probably would have gone crazy without him. I would especially like to thank my grandparents and Rhonda for always being there for me and loving me unconditionally. Mom and Dad, thank you for pushing me to be the best I could be. When we had our meeting to discuss writing our speeches, Miss Harton said that she knew some of us had been preparing for this speech since the 6th grade. She looked at me and called my name. Little did she know, I'd been planning this speech since the 5th grade. It's always been my plan to stand on this stage and give a speech. When I began to write, I thought about the people I've known since pre-K and how much we've all changed. I am so proud of my classmates for making it this far. We've all grown up, although some of us may have a little more growing up to do and overcome challenges in our lives. Some of my classmates barely got here grade-wise, and some of them probably came running in at 8:01, but we're here now. Although everyone has a different high school experience, my 4 years were a pretty even mixture of good, bad, and ugly. I learned a lot of life lessons. For one thing, I learned that friendships come and go, and sometimes it's better that they do. Next, that hard work and dedication always pay off. And I can never, ever forget this one. Boys stink, both literally and metaphorically. I owe Miss Jacobs and Miss Harton for that one. And Miss Harton, I'm still looking for the man who will wash my car and plant flowers for me. I learned a lot of lessons, but I also grew as a person. I used to be the scared little girl that sat in the back and hoped no one talked to her. Without my teachers, I wouldn't be the person I am today. Miss Jacobs, thank you for teaching me the art of sarcasm, for pushing me to step out of my comfort zone, and always caring about me. Miss Harris, thank you for teaching me about compassion and helping me channel my ability to argue into an award-winning activity. And Mr. Oakley, thank you for caring about your students and going the extra mile to make a difference in their lives. And Miss Frere, thank you for forcing my involvement in alumni activities and student council. I actually enjoy them now. Every year, teachers say that a senior class can always be replaced, that they aren't really unique, but I have to disagree. My class is the one that built its homecoming float with boxes from the liquor store and accidentally almost lit the basement on fire. But my class also devoted themselves to helping those in need. Our class is remarkable, if a little irresponsible. There will never be one just like us. Tonight, we leave our childhoods behind. It's time for us to go out and grab the world by its horns. Although some of us will go off to other parts of the world and others will stay here in Marietta, we will always share the memories of Marietta High School. It made us who we are. May God bless and keep you all. And as Ms. Harton says, no drugs, no alcohol, no babies until you're done being one, and for pity's sake, stay out of jail.
Good evening, parents, faculty, guests, and the graduating class of 2018. I've always been on the shy side, so to stand here in front of not only the audience, but also my peers, to deliver a speech with high expectations is terrifying. So here goes. The day has finally come, the day I've been counting down every day for the past 273 days. We've all thought about this day for years, wondering if we would all make it. Well, good news, most of us have. Our class has certainly kept Marietta High School on its toes, and I'm sure our teachers can't wait to shoo us out the door. But before they do, I have some thank yous to give out. First and foremost, I want to thank our Lord and Savior. Without him, I know for a fact that I would not be standing here right now. He has given us our talents, whether they are athletic, musical, or anything in between. I would also like to thank my parents. Mom, thank you for always telling me to keep my head up, even when I'm taller than everyone else. Dad, thank you for being my teacher both inside and outside of the classroom. Thank you for being there from the early hours of flag competitions to the late hours of dance rehearsals. I hope to make you extremely proud in the future. And thank you to Alden, my younger brother, for educating me on everything from the latest memes to anything related to Fortnite. I would also like to thank some of my teachers. Thank you to Mr. Oakley for introducing me to my interests of politics, which have led me to participate in Girls State. Thank you, Mrs. Salyer, for not only preparing me for college classes, but for also catching me when I passed out that one time on the chemistry trip. Thank you, Mrs. Harton, for not only being the world's best neighbor, but for helping me hone my writing skills so I could go on to participate in youth tour. Thank you to Mrs. Sanders for teaching me to write maturely and for making sure I didn't slack off my senior year. And a special thank you to my dance teacher, Miss Carmela, for teaching me grace, poise, and stamina. All of you had made me into the person I am today. Well, class, we have certainly made an impression on our high school. We have accumulated countless state titles in everything from cross country to band. That's something to be proud of. Judging by our success and drive in high school, there's no doubt that we will be successful in the next stage of our lives. For some of us, this will be the last time we see each other, and for some of us, that's perfectly fine. But there's no denying that we were all a part of each other's lives. We braved the first day of freshman year together, we took driver's ed as sophomores and made it out alive. We have seen each other at our best, dressed to the nines at our junior prom, and at our worst, dressed in sweatpants, frantically filling out scholarships as seniors. We have made countless memories that will last in eternity, but the one thing that we will remember most is our character. As the years pass by, we will soon forget who won first place, who got the better grade, who spread rumors in the halls. We will remember how we treat each other, for better or worse. Our character has not only shaped us individually, but also each other. As we enter the next chapter of our lives, we have to remind ourselves that endurance and good character will get us through it. We will face many challenges, but we are all equally capable of succeeding. It says in Romans 5:3-4, to rejoice in our afflictions, because we know that affliction produces endurance, endurance produces proven character, and proven character produces hope. Hope is always in our grasp. It's just up to us to decide how we view it. As Dr. Wayne Dwyer put it, the only difference between a flower and a weed is judgment. We can choose to see our difficulty as weeds without much hope, or we can view them as flowers full of hope and ambition. As we encounter many roadblocks in our lives, we can choose to see them as blessings and rejoice in our afflictions instead of letting them tear us down. The choice is ours. As we walk off this stage and into the next stage of our lives, we will eventually come to the shocking realization, if we haven't already, that we are in charge of our futures. We will conduct ourselves with exceptional character and find the positive sides in our hardships, for they will make us stronger. Congratulations, class of 2018, and may God bless you in all of your endeavors.
Logan Patrick O'Connor. Kylie Elaine Hopkins. Javier Flores. Cadence Nichols. Giovanni Jaquez. Rebecca Renee Carroll. Addison Avery Galloway. Cynthia Aldaba. Samantha Nicole Aldaba. Luis Andrade. Miguel Alejandro Baca. Christian Barrientos. Patricia Barrientos. Estefany Barrientos Garcia. Tegan Lane Boyd Matthews. Daniel Clayton Brock. Damian Jeremiah Brown. Omar Castaneda. Jose Javier Castro. Ridge Childers. Terry Christian. Miranda Manika Kerbo. Samantha Michelle Darnell. Cynthia Carolina Delatorre. Brianna Lynn Dewey. Dylan Shane Payne Eberhart. Jamie Rochelle Engel. Kyler Dawn Irwin. Ashley Flores. Bolton Ty Fortune. Donna Damaris Garcia. Beatrice Gemelli. Guadalupe Gomez. Bailey Shane Gover. Joshua Jacob Guerra. Dalton Cal Hammett. Brinkley Joy Hartman. Daryl Levi Hartman. Haley Madison Lester. Levi James Locke. Leighton Alexander Manuel. Nathaniel Jordan Malden. Sierra Nicole McKelvey. Emerald Star McWilliams. Quentin Minchinella. Alondra Carolina Morones. Evan Alexander Mullinax. Caitlin Cheyenne Norman. Bryce Lavon Purser. Rafael Reza. Noah Ruda Amaya. Jacqueline De La Cruz Salas. Karina Salas Cesanas. Lisbeth Ane Salas. Alex Sanchez. Alfredo Sanchez. Joel Sanchez. Vanessa Sanchez. Hannah Louise Taylor. Matthew Ray Vaughn. Brandon Lloyd Walker. Sabrina Maxine Walters. Harley D. Whitmore. Michael Anthony Wickware. Krista Renee Rose Wilkins.
By the power vested in me as president of the Marietta Board of Education, I now pronounce you graduates of Marietta High School. Congratulations, and may God bless you.
There will be a replay of our ceremony available on our website, mariettaisd.org. If you'll please stand as our graduates exit, and please allow them to get on outside and have one last moment as a class. You're going to do great. You've seen it all. So, well, bite it off and chew it real good for a couple of years. You'll
I got big footsteps to feel, so. Hope I can do it justice.
You will. I got no doubt.
Got some good kids and some good families first.
Yeah, you do. And I really thank goodness.